Hello, my name is Lauren Ayer, and I'm also a poet. I recently relocated to Santa Fe from San Francisco and have found an infinite expanse of things here to write about. If you would like to read more of my work than the 5 poems I'll be reading tonight, you can find some of my stuff in Santa Fe One Heart magazine and also in Adobe Walls. Home on the Range. First, let's get just one thing straight. I am a pacifist, a freedom-loving, flower-growing, gun-fearing, dyed-in-the-wool pacifist. I can't even kill a spider unless it comes down to him or me. And even then, only if I can convince myself that that long flush is simply relocation. I mean, spiders can swim, can't they? So given that, given my lifelong aberrance of violence and weapons and leaving Bambi without a mother and all that, what happened that day under the wide Powake sky was, well, unexpected. But the truth is, it took less than 2 minutes for that heavy metal object in my hand to transform from a weapon to a tool, to turn a human-shaped cardboard cutout into practice, to make the sound of ricocheting bullets sound like church bells. I had already learned the term double tap from a zombie movie, and I knew what my instructor meant by a Bin Laden shot before he clarified, one to the chest, then one to the head. This is the world we live in. This is how this world works, and suddenly, that gun in my hand, that near-perfect first-time grouping, felt like just one more survival skill. No different than planting a tomato or fixing a bike. I mean, spiders can swim, can't they? Woodpile. The lizards are homeless now, searching for their warm, dark beds and finding only flagstone, clear space, and sun. We didn't even give them an eviction notice so they could pack their sawdust and leaves or send a forwarding address to their scaly cousins down the road. The mice were home at the time, sleeping, when the demolition began. They popped like sharp firecrackers out of their beds and ran as though the house was burning down, scattering like wedding rice or startled quail. One found a secret door into a sheltered wall where he spent the night scratching beside the upholstered chair I had moved from the living room, despite its weight. "We were happy," he squeaked. "We were safe and comfortable and warm, but you have scattered my family to the 5 winds, and in return, I will become the worst neighbor you ever had." Language barrier. I sit across the table from once familiar faces. We smile and try to make conversation, but we live in different worlds now. We speak different languages. My words are the language of dust and wind, of stars sparkling along distant horizons. They inch forward on the backs of the multi-legged. They slip between narrow cracks in low brown walls and whisper around corners. They sleep beside you for 100 years, and then 100 more. I strain to remember their language, built of fog and freeways, metering lights and bridge tolls and ocean. All that water, as wide as the sky and deeper than any constellation. I can hear its waves humming in every word, including those unspoken. I used to hear the crash of that water each night outside my bedroom window, each morning in my own veins. I used to be that water, rushing against the shore, then back again. The air was thick with it. I was thick with it, becoming soft and slow, unable to move. Now I am as dry as a bone, as prickly as a cholla, as gray as the mountains in the distance. I wear my skirts long and folded in the colors of the desert, knowing that despite our thorns, even the cholla blooms clear and bright each summer, its blossoms as bold as the sun. Sorry. Bernie's song. I am in love with life right now, in this sharp, damp moment, as lightning splits the sky with abandon, as beans and corn and sunflowers and squash tumble over tall fences that can barely contain them, as bees hum their orchestra or fertility, as birds hop and hover and squawk. This right here is the crux of it, the down and dirty, deep in the mud beating heart of it. This moment, as rain beats down onto rooftops, parched skin, dry ground, thumping out a rhythm that you cannot help but dance to, turning your face skyward, washing the day, the long hard months, the eternity from your shoulders, clearing the moat from your eye. And as your feet pound earth and mud coats your ankles, as your arms throw themselves upward, hands reaching towards constellations, there is no you at all anymore. No rain, no flowers. There is only life. There is only the pearl that contains all other pearls. There is only one drum that the whole world dances to. There is only an old cracked bell. Imperfect, yes, but you know there is only one thing you can do. Grab that mallet and let that bell sing. Open your own mouth for all those who can't, and sing. And this is the last one. Hopefully my voice will hold out. No, I'm okay. It's called Stand. The time has come to take a stand. I have spent long enough just thinking about the earth abused, about the children left behind, about the souls and stories lost because they didn't have a voice. I want to cry out until people hear. I want to put myself between the land and the machine, drink the poisons from the river, and use my body as a filter to clean the oceans. I want to sing and dance and throw myself on the ground. I want to plant the seed of word and voice in the mind of every child. Watch it take root, grow strong, and burst forth into magnificently varied blossoms that will later seed the lives of others. Every inch of skin, every thread of nerve, every beat of heart urges, cries for action, yet still I sit. Head to desk, to keyboard, to hand, typing, nothing, building, nothing, doing nothing, except waging a bloody, scarring battle within my own skin. Behind me, breeze blows, leaves rattle, a bird takes flight. That bird does not paralyze himself with how to or what if. He simply raises wing and flies, the way I need to stand, walk out the door, and find a quiet place to sit outside, to plant a seed, lift a pen, notice my breath, breathe. And when I've learned to breathe again, to walk until I find someone else who is struggling for air and invite them to sit with me, to plant a seed, pick up their own pen, breathe.